Now on CoastTV News.
Help is on the way for Delaware's firefighters. 2 new bills aimed at supporting our first responders about to become law. A major decision back on the table this morning. What council members decide could soon change for the future of weed sales in Sussex County.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Grace Eckerly. Welcome to CoastTV News Midday. We're going to start off by taking a live look into Milford this morning. Beautiful and sunny. Our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono, joining us now for a first look at that forecast. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Grace. Yeah, we had a chilly start to our day. In fact, we felt a 51 in Georgetown. We actually saw some areas, western portions of Sussex County, falling into the upper 40s. Now, the sun made a cameo appearance this morning. We had the clouds that have begun to roll in. Increasing clouds is really going to be the theme through the afternoon. We're at 69 there in Milford. You can see we're holding at 70, Lewis 69, Long Neck 68 in Willards, and 71 there in Salisbury. The winds gusting upwards of 23. Georgetown really cranking at the coast, 29. Indian River Inlet to 25 in Ocean City. We could see gusts as high as 35 going forward. We have a stalled out front well off the coast. Area of low pressure is going to be developing along that front through the day today. Eventually, we're going to see some showers spread into the area, primarily overnight. We're going to be cloudy, windy along the coast with those gusts as high as 25, 30 miles an hour. Can't rule out an isolated shower. Bethany Beach down through Chickatee, Ocean City late this afternoon. I think primarily we stay dry. High risk of rip currents for today and tomorrow. Waves as high as 6 to 7 feet. It's going to be a damp, soggy Wednesday with scattered showers and drizzle. But the good news is we end the week on a high note as we go into Thursday, Friday. Temperatures back up near 80 and the sunshine returns. We'll track the showers tonight into our Wednesday coming up in that full 7-day forecast. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. And new this morning, Governor Wes Moore launching his re-election campaign. Once again, running with Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller. In the video announcement posted, he's touting achievements like lower unemployment, tax cuts, and the reopening of the Port of Delaware. Looking ahead, Moore says his priorities will include improving public schools, ending child poverty, and expanding affordable housing across the state of Maryland. Delaware firefighters now getting new support from the state. Today, Governor Matt Meyer expected to sign 2 bills benefiting our first responders. According to state leaders, House Bill 171 gives high school students the chance to earn an elective credit by volunteering with local fire departments. Next, Senate Bill 28 provides $7,000 towards funeral expenses for volunteer firefighters, rescue workers, and auxiliary members. Ocean View officials set to discuss a new rule that puts restrictions on public protests. According to officials, the goal of the new rule is to promote safety and protection of public property. The review comes after a letter from the ACLU of Delaware saying those rules are unconstitutional. Some of the new regulations include permits required at least 36 hours in advance for groups larger than 10, fees up to $150 to apply for permit demonstrations, limited to 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and no masks allowed at the protest. The ACLU of Delaware says this is, quote, unconstitutional and unreasonable time, place, and manner. Restrictions upon community organizers and protesters. The Ocean View Town Council is meeting this afternoon at 3. Happening now, when and where we could see the sale of recreational marijuana in Sussex County is back up for debate. Regulations are scheduled for this discussion at this morning's council meeting that started just moments ago. The review comes after state-level pushback on the current rules, which opponents say are too restrictive. Senate Bill 75
Just because it's just something that leads to other things.
Anything, cigarettes, tobacco, this here, it's all possible revenue for the county or state.
Meyer's recommendations include reducing the amount of permits needed and reducing the distance shops would have to be from churches or schools, and changing the required zoning district. The County Council meeting is scheduled from this morning at 10. We will bring you the latest later tonight at 5 and 6. Taking a live look now into Washington, D.C. this morning for you. Debate underway after a House committee released an image of a suggestive birthday message that some people claim President Trump sent to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein back in 2003. That note now part of a subpoenaed Epstein file. The president calling the message a fake and denying having anything to do with it. He's focused now on crime and immigration with a new crackdown beginning in Chicago. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest details of what's going on today in Washington.
Divided attention in Washington this morning as President Trump keeps his sights on crime and immigration. A first look at a birthday message he allegedly wrote in 2003 to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is grabbing headlines. It's a drawing of a woman's torso around an imagined conversation that reads in part, quote, "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey." The White House arguing it's a fake and not the president's signature, echoed by Republican lawmakers.
To me, it's just bogus. The whole thing is bogus right now.
President Trump has denied having anything to do with the letter first reported by the Wall Street Journal in July, prompting him to file a $10 billion defamation lawsuit. The House Oversight Committee released it Monday as part of a trove of subpoenaed Epstein documents.
The president now is walking into his own lie and cover-up.
The president focused instead on his immigration crackdown, with the Department of Homeland Security confirming it's launched a new ICE operation in Chicago, branded Operation Midday Blitz. No sign yet of a threatened National Guard deployment to crack down on crime.
We'd love to go into Chicago and straighten it out.
City and state leaders calling it all unnecessary, though a new Supreme Court ruling may limit their ability to push back. The High Court's conservative majority lifted restrictions on ICE operations in Los Angeles, putting a hold on a lower court ruling that blocked patrols and raids based on broad criteria like speaking Spanish. The White House rejecting critics' allegations of racial profiling, insisting ICE detentions are based on a multitude of factors. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Stick around here at CoastTV News Midday. Coming up, one local man denied of his pet ownership in Dagsboro. The meaningful reason he petitioned for change at Monday's City Council. But first, improving Ocean City one project at a time. What changes you can expect to the town? That's up next after the break. Happening today, the Ocean City Council plans to review improvement project plans for Baltimore Avenue. This is to move utility lines underground, widen both sidewalks by 5 feet, add fire hydrants on the east side, and repave the street from North Division to 15th Street. One man who lived near Baltimore Avenue for years says he is excited to see the changes.
This project came up a couple years ago. We were invited down to City Hall to see the drawings, and I approve of what they're going to do.
Ocean City officials say the project is still in the early stages, but could see a beginning in October of 2023.
Well, if you slept in, you missed the sun we had this morning. The clouds have rolled in, and Laurel 70 degrees, dew point 60, winds out of the northeast at about 12 miles an hour. And we're going to continue to see the cloudy skies through the afternoon, only making it into the low 70s. We'll track showers tonight, and when we'll see the return of some warmer temperatures coming up in that 7-day forecast. And congratulations to Michael Marth, Milford, Delaware. You're the winner of our Paul Davis umbrella. Full 7-day forecast right up after the break. Well, the clouds have moved in pretty quickly here after some brief sunshine this morning, and you can see those winds are howling in the American flag there in Ocean View. Those winds coming in off the ocean, sustained anywhere between about 15 to 30, gusts upwards of 35. We're at 71 in Ocean View. Temperatures right now are holding in the upper 60s to lower 70s. We may rise a couple degrees here over the next few hours. Otherwise, not going to see much in the way of temperature rise through the afternoon. Sustained winds, 23 Salisbury to Georgetown. Gusts upwards of 23, Rehoboth, 28 Indian River Inlet, and those gusts are going to be increasing through the afternoon. High risk of rip currents, not the best beach day, but we have a high risk of rip currents throughout the entire Delmarva coast. Waves, Ocean City down Assateague Island, upwards of 4 to 7 feet. through the afternoon. We do have small craft advisories up through 12 a.m. Thursday for the fact of those winds gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour, and those small craft advisories really encompass the entire end of the Delmarva Peninsula as well as the Bay side. There's the clouds rolling in. I tell you what, though, if you're eastern shore, northern portions of Delmarva through Philly, South Jersey, you're still basking in sunshine, all thanks to high pressure. But then you make your way to the coast, clouds, and then eventually the showers. Stalled out front here, we're going to have an area of low pressure that's going to be developing here over the next day, and that's going to help force some showers back to our neck of the woods really tonight through Wednesday, and then we'll see drier conditions really through the end of the week. So there's the cloudy skies through the afternoon, temperatures holding in the lower 70s. Can't rule out an isolated shower on the coast here over the next few hours, but I think we stay dry through the evening. Overnight, you see some showers, some spotty drizzle, could even see a brief downpour, moderate rain into early tomorrow morning. But other than that, more of a kind of the nuisance variety. And then we clear out pretty quickly as we go into Thursday, and we're back up to near 80 degrees. There's those winds through this evening, gusting as high as 35 miles an hour, primarily along the coast. Could see some gusts 20, 25 to 30 inland, but primarily at the coast, we see those winds gusting even at 30 tomorrow. And then as we go into Thursday, you see those winds really subside as that area of low pressure pushes further out. Rainfall totals, not all that impressive. We could see upwards of a quarter. Maybe we squeeze out a half an inch here closer to the coast, but the further away you get from the coast here, not much of the way of rain. We clear things out into Thursday and Friday, and then there's the temperature trend over the next 5 days, 70 tomorrow, and then we're kind of hovering in the upper 70s to near 80 through the end of the week. Looking fantastic for the Walk for Prostate Cancer there, Cape Henlopen State Park. Saturday morning, we'll have a high of 77 on your Saturday. 73 this afternoon. Showers isolated at the coast, better chance of showers and drizzle overnight, and then rather gloomy Wednesday with showers, damp, breezy conditions, but we rebound pretty quickly into Thursday. We're up to 80 degrees, and we're rolling with sunshine right through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with highs right hovering around the 80-degree mark. Grace.
Thanks, Chris. Let's talk about that weather. Actually, it's the peak of hurricane season, but the Atlantic unusually quiet right about now. Most hurricane activity occurs from mid-August into the first half of October. September 10th, tomorrow, actually the high point of the hurricane season. But for the first time in nearly a decade, the National Hurricane Center says this season's peak will pass tomorrow with no active storms. According to the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, copperheads are one of 2 venomous snakes in Maryland, and you should be preparing to see some more of them this time of year. They can grow as long as 3 feet and are found in forests, fields, swamps, and even dry sandy ridges. They have shovel-shaped heads and these chestnut-colored crossbands like the ones on your screen now. The department tells us just to watch where you're putting your feet and your hands if you're camping or hiking outdoors. And while their venom is rarely deadly, you are advised to call poison control if you happen to be bitten.
Coming up today on Coast Life, ladies and gentlemen, get those taste buds ready. We've got the Benvenuto dish of the week. Can't wait to see what Zeus and that crew cook up for us. It's always so delightful. Gets really the whole vibe going for your day. And we are going to talk to a prostate cancer survivor ahead of this week's coming prostate cancer walk. Also, we've got a kidney walk coming up, the Delaware Kidney Walk. We're going to fill you in on all the details you need to know for both of those things. Do not miss it. Coast Life starts at 4.
At Monday night's Dagsboro Town Council meeting, a draft ordinance to modify the town's code denied. The chapter revolves around the possession of certain animals. That animal in question, ducks. One local man has 5 pet ducks that he says are for educational purposes for his children. Michael Wolf presented this draft in hopes of keeping those little guys at his family's home.
I just think that they may have been a little bit too harsh on the fact that we had them before coming and presenting this, which is disappointing. But, you know, it is what it is.
Wolf says now he'll have to bring those ducks to a family member's farm over in Georgetown. Coming up on Coast TV News Midday, nearly half of the people around the world with the disease go undiagnosed. How to read the signs and symptoms? Well, that's after the break. Nearly half of the people around the world with diabetes don't even know that they have it. A new study found 44% of people aged 15 and older with diabetes are undiagnosed. The research looked at data from more than 200 countries and territories around the world. Younger people much less likely to be diagnosed. And higher income countries are doing a better job of identifying this disease. Experts now saying that early diagnosis is key because undiagnosed diabetes can lead to long-term problems.
Now, take a live look into a mostly cloudy Cambridge. 70 degrees there, a bit breezy. Winds out of the northeast at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And we're going to see plenty of clouds through the afternoon. Get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert weather phone, sponsored by Broxton Mandalas Federico. We'll have a look at that 10-day forecast right after the break. Well, the clouds continue to roll in, seen with winds at the coast upwards of 35 miles an hour. Expect scattered showers and drizzle overnight into our Wednesday. Our Wednesday, a soggy day with scattered showers and periodic drizzle. We're only going to hit a high of 70, and then we're right back up to 80 on Thursday under sunny skies.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Coast TV News Midday. For more local news and weather, download our Coast TV News app. And don't forget to join us right back here for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Have a great day.